Today, we're going to talk about a new AI tool called CaseOS. It's designed to tackle a massive challenge in a really critical public service: probation and parole.
And it really all starts with this one question, because the answer gets to the heart of a huge problem in the system, one that really affects an officer's ability to focus on what matters most: the people they're supervising.
So first, let's just dig into the sheer scale of this administrative headache, what we're calling the paperwork problem.
Okay, so just to create one single report, an officer has to manually dig through years of history, try to piece together a timeline from all these scattered notes, hunt down specific violations, and then somehow pull it all together into one coherent document. It's slow, it's repetitive, and it takes up so much time.
And here's the real kicker. Every single hour spent wrestling with paperwork is an hour they can't spend with the individuals on their caseload. And when you've got dozens of cases to manage, that admin time can literally swallow up most of the work week.
So with a problem that big, what's the fix? Well, that brings us to the idea of an AI assistant. Basically, think of CaseOS as this incredibly fast and efficient assistant. It reads the whole case file, every note, every document, all the history, and then it organizes everything and spits out a draft report for the officer. The human is still completely in charge, but all that tedious prep work, it's gone. It's automated. And wow, when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. The old way meant hours of manual review. With CaseOS, you're just uploading documents and then focusing on a high-level review. The job shifts from, just assembling data to actually applying your expertise.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how does this thing actually work? Let's take a look at how it turns all that chaos into a clear, structured report. The process is actually broken down into 4 really simple steps. First, the officer uploads all the files. Then, the system automatically builds a timeline of key events for them to review. With just one click, a full draft report is generated. And then finally, and this is key, the officer edits and finalizes it, keeping total control over the finished product. And this is that automated timeline. The AI just pulls out all the key events, like meetings, drug tests, changes in jobs, and organizes them chronologically. So instead of hunting through page after page of notes to find out when the last contact was, it's just right there, clear as day. And get this, it's not just for sitting at a desk. An officer can be out in the field, record a quick voice memo right after a meeting, and the system automatically transcribes it and pulls the important info into the case file. It's a great way to capture those fresh observations without having to stop and type everything out. So that's the tech. But what does all of this actually mean for an officer's day-to-day work? Let's look at the real-world impact here. I mean, this chart really says it all, doesn't it? A task that used to take hours of an officer's valuable time is now cut down to just minutes. This isn't some small, tiny improvement. It's a total game changer in how they can spend their day, freeing them up for the work that actually matters. And it all comes back to this one simple but really powerful idea. This is the whole point of the system: shifting the balance of an officer's time away from a keyboard and back towards direct human interaction and supervision. Now look, anytime you talk about AI in a field that requires so much human judgment, it's vital to be clear about its role. So let's cover what this tool does, and maybe even more importantly, what it absolutely does not do. And this part is so important. The AI is not making decisions, it's not recommending a sentence, and it never ever replaces the professional judgment of an officer. It's a support tool, plain and simple. It's designed to assist, not to decide. The officer is always in the driver's seat. This quote just nails it, right? Technology like this is at its absolute best when it helps humans do their jobs better. The goal isn't to automate away a professional, but to handle all that repetitive work so they can focus their expertise where it truly counts. And that leaves us with this final big question to think about. I mean, if AI can free up this much time for probation officers, what about social workers, public defenders, nurses? What other crucial public services, totally buried under mountains of paperwork, could be transformed by technology that's built not to replace, but to support?